Oh, hello guys. Good seeing all of you. How are you doing?
Good, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I have with me three folks from AGNIi. That's the Government of India's AGNIi Innovation Mission. We have Shubham, we have Vishad, we have Garima. Firstly, thank you very much to all three of you. It's a pleasure, firstly, having you come all the way from Delhi to the Climate Summit 2023 at Chennai. It's also a pleasure to have this short interview with you. Good evening. Yeah. Uh, Firstly, for our audience, even though you may be very familiar for many of your segments you're already working with, I would like you guys to tell us what AGNIi is all about. What is the overall mission you have? What are the specific things that you guys are doing right now?
Narsi, thanks for that. I think the most succinct definition of AGNIi is very simple. It's part of the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor's Office. And our mandate is very clear. We need to solve for the 21st century problems which India is facing, climate being one of them. If you ask in terms of what our background is, we all are policy professionals in a way. My own experience has been for about 8 to 9 years working in this space. I worked in various different organizations, multilateral organizations as well in the US. And after that, I came back and joined AGNIi as an organization for me.
Sure. So my name is Garima, and my background, I am a commerce graduate by my education, but I joined Invest India around 4.5 years back as an intern, and at that point, the AGNIi mission was being set up. And it was an opportunity for me to actually be a part of a national mission that can bring change on ground. And I think I made a very good choice 4.5 years back, and I'm here still. Mostly working on climate projects with the team that's here right now. And yeah, that's about me.
Just like Garima, I started with AGNIi Mission as an intern, and my role here is technology and innovator outreach. So, as Shubham was mentioning, our job is to essentially help the Indian government agencies upgrade themselves with technology, especially in the emerging technology sector. My job is to understand their needs and actually translate them into functional requirements for technology based out of India, and then actually reach out to the innovators, R&D labs, and get them on board for demonstrations for actually addressing the pain points that we have surfaced. I myself am an engineer from Delhi College of Engineering in the chemical engineering sector, and as any engineer, I wanted to do something not related to my field. Obviously, I wanted it to be a broader ambit. So now I work across all the technology domains except for chemical as of now. But hopefully, I'll also work on that in the future, in some of the future projects. And thank you so much for inviting us to this event. It was an eye-opening experience for us as well, to actually be able to network with so many people under the same hood, and all of us so motivated and passionate about climate change.
Yeah, thank you. So, quick question: since we are about climate innovations while we are at ClimateFix, you mentioned about tackling the problems of the future, the 21st century problems for India. Where do startups come in? I mean, you guys mentioned many stakeholders. Where do startups come in? Where do innovations from individuals come in? Do they figure in the overall mandate that you guys work in?
So I'll just mention one thing over here, that AGNIi actually stands for something. AGNIi is an acronym, Accelerated Growth of New India's Innovation. So our backbone is the technologies and the startups that actually have those technologies. So once we have surfaced the pain points from the various government institutions and stakeholders, as I said, we translate them into pain points, and then who will address them? It's the Indian startups. There is when the startups come in, we onboard them with their technologies. We take their help to actually showcase those technologies to the government stakeholder, warm up the government stakeholder to emerging tech, because as in this sector, mostly deep technology startups that the government hasn't warmed up to yet. They are warming up, in bits and pieces. So that is where the innovators, the startups come in, as you said, and they actually showcase their technologies and change the mindset of the government and actually incorporate it into the site itself.
Narsi, I'll add on to that. I think startups are quite an important part of the ecosystem which we are trying to build. A lot of problems which we are trying to solve for example of climate change, forest fires specifically. If you start looking at the wider ecosystem, you will not find established players working to solve those problems because there are not financial incentives to take care of that. So and in my experience, I think startup ecosystem is the only ecosystem which even has the intent to go out and solve these problems. So that is the biggest advantage of associating with the startups for AGNIi.
So am I correct in saying that you could be called an accelerator, but in the specific use case of accelerating access to government agencies, government institutions, government corporations for startup innovations in certain areas? So is that your unique selling point? Look, if you're a startup, you're operating in or working in certain domains, we can help you get access, get pilot studies done, get some maybe even commercialization done, access to government bodies to test your innovations. Is that the use case?
Yes, it's exactly the use case where we are trying to connect good players operating in the ecosystem to the wider public sector organizations operating in India. Apart from it, the other advantage which we offer for startups is very clear. I was attending the event and a lot of people have a very negative impression of government. I was able to sense that. But believe me, one advantage of working with government is even though government may be slow, but when it moves with scale. It moves with scale and speed as well. Yeah, exactly.
More than fast, it's the bigness.
Yes, exactly. And I think any startup who is associated with AGNIi will definitely get an advantage when the government decides to move. It may be difficult to say that the government is going to move tomorrow or maybe the day after, but whenever it moves, the scale is always there for the startup.
It's mighty. Last question to all you guys. What would you want startups to do if they want to come to you? Is there something they should be already ready with? Are there certain qualifications you require from them? And how do they reach out? Do they just shoot an email? How does this work? Startups, innovators reaching out to you. What is the practical way of doing it?
So essentially, as you said, they can reach out to us over a simple email. We'll share the details, the email details we have for our AGNIi mission. And apart from that, the one of the other ways is that whenever we have a project, we have some needs, we do an outreach on our LinkedIn handles, on our Twitter handles, wherein the startups can directly get in touch with us by answering the forms over there. So that is the other way they can get in.
Just to add, you asked about the criteria, what the startup criteria should be. So we have kept it very simple. We want the startup to have a ready solution, not at an idea stage, but there should be at least a POC or a pilot being done. So the solution is proven, it's being tested to some extent, so that we can actually demonstrate those technologies on ground for the government stakeholders to understand that the technology exists and works. So it's very simple.
And in terms of technicalities, I would say anything between TRL 5 to TRL 9 is okay with us. That's no, not too early, not too early. Yeah, exactly. Because you're solving for it, and then people need solutions right there on the ground itself. So you cannot be an organization who is working on a solution but is still not deployable. So at least we take care of that. Whichever organization we take on board, at least has to have that potential to deploy it at a larger level.
Across all climate tech verticals, or the specific verticals within climate tech you focus on more than others?
So that is essentially on the basis of the project and the basis of the government stakeholder. If whatever sectors they want us to focus on, that is our focus areas. Yes, we are open to anything on that end.
In the presentation, you saw 5 major domains which you're working on. All those 5 domains are applicable to us. It includes policy, it includes climate, it includes human development as well. And there are 2 more sectors. It's getting out of defense and handlooms. Yeah, that's how it is. So we are focusing on them.
Hey guys, thank you very much, Shubham, Vishad, Garima. Thank you very much for being here, giving the interview. All the very best to AGNIi.